As the spring housing market kicks off in the US, you may be wondering, what should I expect if I'm planning to sell or buy a house, correct? And yes, there are multiple factors causing some uncertainty, including the conflict overseas, rising inflation, and the first rate increase from the Federal Reserve in over 3 years. The housing market, however, is slowly starting to react, and here I break it all down for you, and you are going to absolutely love it. Okay, stay tuned. Hey, Ravi with the Rams Group at eXp Realty here. If this is the first time we're connecting, I am thrilled you stopped by, and my goal is to provide meaningful, relevant, and educational content to help both home sellers and buyers be in the real estate now. Now, here's what the market has in store going into spring. With the rising inflation and Fed's rate increase plans, we'll discuss specifically the mortgage rates, housing inventory, coupled with prices, and how the increase in rates may potentially affect the home prices going into spring. Okay? Now, first, let's look at the mortgage rates, which will climb. Now, Freddie Mac reports that the 30-year fixed mortgage rate has increased by more than 1 full point in the past 6 months. Interest rates are hovering around high 3s to low 4s as of this recording. Of course, if you pay discount points, then you can obviously buy down the interest rate, as you know. And despite some of the mild fluctuations in the recent weeks, is primarily due to the growing uncertainty around the geopolitical tensions surrounding Russia and Ukraine. And now experts believe that this is to be expected, and also say that rates will continue to edge up higher over the next 90 to 120 days. Now, with the Fed raising the short-term rates and signaling further increases, this will mean that mortgage rates should continue to rise over the course of the year, that is. If you are a first-time homebuyer or a seller thinking about moving to a new home that better fits your needs, realize that waiting will likely mean that you'll pay a higher mortgage rate on your purchase. And experts also predict that more home inventory is about to hit the market. And so, if you're a seller, this will mean that more competition for your home, correct? Which means you may not expect the same buyer frenzy that the market is seeing today. And also, when the rates move up, that higher rate really drives up your monthly payment, as you know, right? And can add up over the life of your loan. Something for you to actually think about. And then let's discuss the housing inventory situation, which will increase in the coming months, especially when rates go up. If you're a buyer who is starting new or someone who submitted multiple offers and yet to get your offer accepted, there may be some relief coming down the pike. Now, Realtor.com recently reported that the number of newly listed homes has grown for each of the last 2 months. Now, this data is as current as February of this year. However, you can see that the number of new listings coming on the market is gradually increasing. Also, the National Association of Realtors, which is NAR, just announced the months of supply of inventory increased for the first time in 8 months. The inventory of existing homes usually grows every spring, as you may have known, and it seems that based on the recent activity that the next 90 days or 3 months could bring in more listings to the market. Now, if you are a buyer and have been kind of frustrated with the limited supply of homes available for sale, it looks like you could find some relief in spring, for sure. However, be prepared to act quickly. As soon as homes launch, jump on it. Have your realtor assist you in making the quick decision and then move forward. Now, if you're a seller, listing now instead of waiting for additional competition to hit the market may act hugely in your favor. And your leverage and any negotiation during the sale will be impacted by the additional homes that come onto the market. Wouldn't you agree? Basically, the law of supply and demand, if you will. Now, more homes on the market for buyers to pick means you, as a seller, lose leverage. It's simple. Let us also talk about what all this means to home prices. Now, prices are always determined by the supply and demand, a known and tested truth. Though the number of homes entering the market is increasing, buyer demand remains stronger than the number of homes coming, which means that the absorption rate for the homes is super strong as well. By the way, what is absorption rate? Can you explain? Well, the absorption rate measures how quickly homes that come on the market get sold. It's simple, right? The absorption rate is a measure of the supply and demand, and it's actually a good indicator. Now, it is actually calculated by taking the number of homes sold in a month, dividing it by the number of homes currently on the market. Now, you can find a percentage that determines how quickly homes sell. It's that simple. As Realtor.com explains in their most recent housing report, during the final 2 weeks of the month, more new sellers entered the market than during the same time last year. However, with 5.8 million new homes missing from the market and millions of millennials at first-time buying ages, housing supply faces a long road to catching up with demand. Now, what does that mean for you? With the demand for housing still outpacing the supply of homes available, home prices will continue to appreciate. Now, pay specific attention to the lines for 2020, 2021, and 2022. Respectively, okay? As you can see, the average price appreciation for all of 2020 was 20.6%, close to it. And for 2021, it was 19.8%. So, on average, about 40% increase in prices over the last 2 years. Now, many experts believe that that level of appreciation will decelerate from the high double-digit levels we've seen over the last 2 years. No, that does not mean that we'll depreciate by any means. We'll just not see that much acceleration in prices, and it'll slow basically. Now, you may also wonder, won't increasing the mortgage rates cause the home prices to fall? It's a great question. While some people may believe that about a 1% increase in mortgage rates will impact the demand so dramatically that house prices may fall, experts think otherwise. Let me share their perspective, okay? Let's look at the past history. Now, Freddie Mac studied the impact that mortgage rates have on home prices. Now, the results, as shown, indicate that as mortgage rates jumped by anywhere between 1 and 2.4% over the last 30 years, the home prices jumped from 2 to 11% in the same time period. Isn't that interesting? While there's no precise correlation between the rates and prices, one thing we know for sure is real estate has been appreciating over the years, regardless of rate hikes, right? Now, the one thing is how fast home prices appreciated, slowly or quickly. That's what needs to be looked at. So again, if you are a first-time buyer or a repeat buyer, waiting to buy likely means that you'll pay more for a home later this year compared to its current value. Hey, a quick detour. If you like the content in this video, consider subscribing to my channel and hit that like button. It's going to go a long way, and I totally appreciate you. Now, all that said, here's the bottom line. 3 things seem to be very certain going into the spring market of 2022. Number 1, mortgage rates will continue to rise. Number 2, the selection of homes available for sale will modestly improve. And number 3, home prices will continue to appreciate, just at a slightly slower pace than what we've seen in the past, and there will be no depreciation, however. While nobody has a crystal ball, this is what experts think. So, if you are thinking of buying, act now before the mortgage rates and the home prices increase further. And if you are a seller and thinking of selling on the other hand, your best bet would be to sell soon so that you can beat the increased competition of homes that are about to come on the market. All that said, now you know. You make it a great spring, and we'll talk soon. Bye.